few vehicles speak the truth about their expectations. Not the 2019 Chevrolet Spark. The 5-entryway minicar that could, the 2019 Spark is offered in a flock of trim dimensions and overflows with identity. It's a modest vehicle that wouldn't like to be lumped with other transportation machines. This year, low-speed programmed crisis braking is another alternative on the Spark's second lieutenant, just making this the main minicar that can stop itself on the off chance that it identifies an approaching crash. Moreover, all Spark trims gain another 7.0-inch touchscreen for infotainment with refreshed programming. Standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto network, in addition to a couple of USB ports, enable the Spark to punch over its weight class with regards to the element tally, despite the fact that the Spark LS characterizes fundamental motoring with its move-up windows and hubcaps. The pricier second lieutenant's capacity highlights, engineered upholstery, and keyless start are decent extravagances, however its value floats near bigger and all the more dominant vehicles. A 1.4-liter inline-4 appraised at only 98 strength gradually propels all renditions of the Spark. A 5-speed manual is standard, while a consistently factor transmission, CVT, is discretionary and ought to be undeniably increasingly normal. The Spark feels more adult than its smallish extents recommend, yet it is obviously better suited to around the local area driving than roadway hikes. Inside, the Spark has shockingly great space for travelers and their payload. In any event, thinking about its 143-inch by and large length, the Chevy Suburban sold over the showroom is almost 7 feet longer. For urbanites never going to budge on the most straightforward new vehicle to leave, the 2019 Spark makes a convincing bundle. However, even Chevy concedes that is a limited market. For most purchasers, the bigger Chevy Cruze Conservative may just run $20 more every month on the rent, which makes the Spark an extreme move. There's very little energy to the Spark's general shape until the point when you get to the dubiously tough Spark Activ, which for reasons unknown sits almost an inch higher than whatever is left of the lineup. Without all-wheel drive, it is anything but a 4x4 fan, however. From the side, the Spark's truncated tail and short shades are customary city vehicle components. Despite the fact that it extends only 143 crawls from heavily congested, the Spark's 94-inch wheelbase is on the long side and that assists with its extents. Inside, the Spark is essential yet not dismal. All renditions have a major 7.0-inch touchscreen for infotainment mounted high on the dash. Try not to search for dressy materials, yet the Spark attempts with fun upholstery designs and painted plastic trim. On the other hand, minicar customers barely organize execution. With desires held within proper limits, the Spark conveys shockingly great refinement and is a hoot to hustle around town. Under its short hood sits a minor 1.4-liter inline-4 evaluated at 98 strength. Try not to search for a turbocharger, in light of the fact that that would be enjoyable. A 5-speed manual transmission is standard on all trims and it functions admirably, yet by far most of Sparks leave the processing plant with a CVT that prompts more underhood roll than power. The Spark's motor buckles down and should be lashed to stay aware of traffic, which destroys mileage, particularly at speed. Where the Spark truly makes its mark is in a bustling urban condition. The CVT enables the motor to spool up sufficiently only to make tracks in an opposite direction from traffic lights. The small measurements enable it to crush into parking spaces drivers of the nearly tremendous Toyota Yaris need to leave behind. Keep the speedometer needle in the low two-fold digit extend and the Spark's bountiful street and motor commotion can be effortlessly muffled by its sound framework, as well. At any rate, Chevy hasn't attempted to crush 5 safety belts into it. The automaker says the Spark is a 4-seater, and even that is a stretch. The Spark lineup begins with the LS trim dimension, which highlights parent organization General Motors OnStar availability with an incorporated 4G LTE radio wire for Wi-Fi and in addition a 7.0-inch touchscreen for infotainment with standard Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, and 2 USB ports. That is decent tech, yet that is about where the highlights stop. Move-up windows, manual entryway bolt and hubcaps are all piece of the condition. Next up, the Spark Second Lieutenant disposes of with the active staller suspension yet incorporates stopping sensors, and keyless start. It's likewise the main Spark accessible with programmed crisis braking, which is packaged with vulnerable side screens in the driver confidence bundle. That is alluring security equip. However, it pushes the Spark into minimized vehicle valuing. You truly need a mini car to spend upward of $18,000 on a Chevy Spark.